So I'm standing there while he's making a trial date for me, and I just asked him. I said, Your Honor, can you explain to me why this is a criminal warrant when it should be a civil matter? Judge Prater looks up at me and he says, I suggest if you speak to me, you speak to me through your attorney. I looked on both sides of me, crossed my arms, and I waited. They handed me my piece of paper. I walked straight down to Jamie Hatton's office, the county attorney, and I said, can I get a warrant for Greg? Because he did steal items. He refused to allow me to have my own things, a vehicle that I had purchased, lots of things. He was going through my stuff. So I asked him, can I get a warrant for Greg? And he said, no, it'll be a civil matter. I said, well, explain to me, Jamie, why it's a civil matter against him, but a criminal case against me. The way you stole it. I said, whoa, stop right there. You've already got me convicted. That's what he said. I started to leave, and I turned around, and I took it one step a little bit closer to him, and I said, you go ahead and take me to trial, Jamie. I'll have the Bars Association down here as fast as it'll make your head spin. Well, on that date that I go to court, I did not make it up the courthouse steps. The clerk met me outside and told me mine had been dismissed. I said, that's fine. I want my paperwork, and I want it expunged from my record. So I really pissed them off because they know they was doing wrong. And it was all because I refused him.
So you think all that is because you wouldn't have sex with the judge?
Yep. Because there was no other reason.
Did you ever see anything when you were working there? You know, there's been all these allegations about this sex ring and the judge having sex with inmates. Did you ever see anything strange?
I did. I don't remember the one girl's name. She went to college. I can see her face. She had bleached stripes in front of her hair. She got into trouble. She went to college while I was there. She got into trouble with drugs. And the next thing I know, then I went to work in his office. Next thing I know, she is working in a little tiny booth sitting across from the courthouse between the two banks. There's a parking lot. Okay, the little booth was there years and years and years and years ago, I guess, as a like a toll booth, a pay booth. You know, somebody's supposed to be there to keep people out of that parking lot that shouldn't be parking there. Okay, well, all of a sudden, this girl is in that booth working, and the judge parks there. And every morning that she was there, now she only worked there, get this, she only worked there for about a month. She didn't work there more than a month. But he would stop and be over there for over 40 minutes before he would come over to the courthouse to do his duties. One day, she walked across and walked into his office with him, and I answered the phone. It was a call that he needed. I went to open the door to tell him that phone call was on the other line. The door was locked. Everybody knew what was going on before I ever worked there. It was talked. I didn't expect that he would make advances to me. I was much older, and I wasn't in trouble. You know what I mean? But anyways, then there was times that he would go out to smoke. Now, like I said, I only worked there 2 years. And I started kind of taking off early, and I didn't do my actual 20 hours, but he signed off on my time sheet. I guess because he didn't want me there neither. But I would go to find him on 2 separate occasions, and he would be down in the jail instead of smoking outside where he was smoking. But then all of a sudden, he was down in the jailer's office, and that's where I'd find the judge in there smoking with female inmates standing around him there and giggling and going on when I'd have to go down there and tell him what was going on, whatever it was I had to go down there for.
So the judge, you saw the judge in the jail smoking with the female inmates?
Yes.
That just sounds so crazy.
Well, what do you think? I was just there, and it was just a little job while I was still taking courses through the college.
Did you think it was weird at the time? I mean, why would the judge be in there?
Oh, yeah.
With the female inmates?
Oh, yeah, I did. I mean, I've seen many women go in there and the door go closed. I knew some of them, and they won't speak up. As a matter of fact, their mother is very adamant about him being such a good man, because her daughter got into trouble with drugs, and he sent her to rehab.
And let me just stop that right there. Man, everything Gemma is saying, honey, she was there. We both went to school at the Whitesburg campus. Even though it was through EKU, it was on Southeast Community College's campus, which is just right around the block from the courthouse. And, that was where we were in school for criminal justice. We kind of were paying attention to a lot of the stuff that was going on at that time. Um, I I believe everything that she's saying. She is saying the exact same thing that the rest of us have been saying, the few of us that have been talking. She's saying the exact same thing. Only she's saying from her perspective what she has seen her own self and what she has experienced her own self. You know, like she said, she was older. Well, you know, me and her both were older women going back to school with a bunch of young kids. So, you know, we had that in common, that we were, you know, I was in my 40s, and I'd say I don't know how old Gemma is, but we're both older. Or we were then too, in school with a bunch of younger people. I believe her. Every word that's coming out of her mouth, I believe it.
But she would never speak up.
What about Sheriff Steins? Did you have any interaction with him?
I did. When I first started working at the courthouse, Steins was his bailiff. And I'm telling you right now, I felt sorry for Steins because the judge belittled him. And I'd watch everything. I was just there. I mean, I wasn't actually working for the courthouse or for him. I was just doing a job just to get a paycheck while I went to college. Who am I? Nobody. But I would watch poor little Mickey Steins would walk out of there after the judge would speak to him the way he did. And you could just tell he was so angry, or he'd just been belittled. I always felt sorry for Mickey. I just thought it was wrong how they treated him. And because he did not believe in what the judge was doing. He was not like them. Mickey was a very, very stern. When it came to him being a sheriff, he was very hard on drugs. He was very stern at his job. But he was fair.
So what did you think? So what year was this, by the way, that you worked in the courthouse?
Okay. I graduated in 2017, so it would have been the last little bit of, well, it would have been 2018, 2019.
Okay. So what did you think when you heard that the sheriff shot and killed the judge?
What did I think?
Yeah.
Ready for this one? Snake's a snake, dead or alive. Thank you, Jesus. He should have took out a few more. I'm sorry that I don't believe in murder, but I mean, okay. And also, y'all are calling this corruption. Everybody is calling this corruption. It is not corruption.
It's crimes.
It is criminal what they've done.
Yes.
What they're doing up here in Whitesburg, because they took an oath and they're breaking those oaths. They're breaking the laws that they took an oath to uphold. Therefore, it is not corruption. It is criminal. And here is why I say that, because you cannot prosecute corruption. Where's it going to go with it? To be real honest, this corruption thing, where's it going to go? We might get somebody somehow, somewhere to actually listen and clean Whitesburg up. But it is criminal, and they should have to pay for what they've done and how they do.
I mean, even me thinking back to you telling me that you went in the judge's office and he said, I've got a warrant that's been sitting here and I guess I'm going to sign. I mean, all of that is just highly inappropriate.
Yes.
Even on that level.
I agree.
But that's how things have been done around here forever. Everything has been done in a very inappropriate way. Everything has been done in a very unprofessional and unethical manner. I mean, and when you don't have trained, educated people that don't know any better, how are they supposed to know any better if they're not educated? They've just got some guy in a robe that's some big fancy pants, hot shot judge or lawyer telling them what is normal and what is right, okay. They don't know no better.
The reason he done it, and I'll tell you why I know what the thoughts was and why he despised me. I have an ex-daughter-in-law.
So what did you think when you heard that the sheriff shot and killed the judge?
What did I think?
Yeah.
Ready for this one? Snake's a snake, dead or alive. Thank you, Jesus. He should have took out a few more. I'm sorry that I don't believe in murder, but I mean, okay. And also, y'all are calling this corruption. Everybody is calling this corruption.